Ladies and gentlemen, what a good morning, afternoon, and evening. I'm David here today, and I'm glad to be your speaker for today's sessions. For today, I'm presenting to you about the DAOVERSAL game plan. And if you have any question to ask, you may leave your message on the chat box, and your questions will be answered there. All right, but before we begin our session for today, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Item number one, we are happy and glad to announce that the Planetary Notes Landathon has been extended. Stand a chance to win prizes by achieving land sales record. So for the first prize, you will win a 1000 USDT and 500 USDT will be granted to second place. And the last one, for the third place, you can get 100 USDT. Remember, you could be the top spot. So that's for item number one. All right, and for item number two, last week, we had our sessions with notable leaders through our DAOversations Game Changers Ensemble. The sessions features Mr. New, our incubator of DAOversal, our CEO, Mr. Jonah, and CTO, Ms. K. And if you miss the sessions or you simply wish to rewatch the sessions, do visit our YouTube channel at Ascensions Academy. We will be sharing the links shortly in the chat box. Okay, so that's about it for the announcement. So shall we begin our presentation for today? So let's start. All right, here is some disclaimer for you. Okay, please be informed that this document shown is only intended for information sharing. It should not be constructed as any financial or investment advice. It is so important for everyone to accept the associated risk which came along with your decision on investment. But I believe that with your presence here today with us at this moment, you made a very brave and smart decisions. And initially, you can achieve what you desire for. So let me start the topic for today. All right, so here's some content for today's topic. Okay, we were talking about the planetary ecosystem model, our planetary nodes, and then owning a land. Okay, and then we will talk about as well our planet referrer rewards and also some unique release rate for you. Okay, and rewards which you are getting as in DU and RC. Okay, land assessment, progression path, market reward, and also DAOversal roadmap. All right, so you can simply have a look first. This is the topic for today and our main subjects. All right, so let's start with DAOversal. So some of you may be still not very familiar with DAOversal. So actually, what is DAOversal? DAOversal is a platform which having blockchain technology as its core business. And of course, DAOversal is including of a Web3 social network, a DApp store, a DeFi infrastructure platform, and it also have include of AI apps. So on the left-hand side shows you our key financials and capital investor, such as Binance, Samsung, Concierge DAO, and etc. And on the right hand shows you our core investor. Well, with all the financials and capital investor backing up to DAOversal, we are so confident to ensure you the stability and sustainability of our project. All right, so next. All right, so now at the first phase of the projects, DAOversal had an early access to 400 planets, and there are 1000 pieces of land on each planet. And we just launched our phase 2 recently for another 200 planets. All right, and I assume phase 3 will be launching soon. All right, so beside of the planets and lands, there are 3 types of tokens in DAOversal, which is DU, RC, our resource coin, and DT. So for DU, it has a very, it had its ratio, okay, which is 1:1 to USDT. And 10% of your market rewards can be swapped anytime to DT, according to the DT rate. All right. And then for RC, which is a short form for resource coin. And for RC, it had its ratio at 1:1 to our DU. And then DAOVERSAL, for DAOVERSAL, we are developing more resources for the marketplace. And our RC will have its future value, which your holding of RC will definitely benefits you in upcoming future. And the last token that we have is DT. So for DT, you can swap it to DU at its rate. All right, so it's very clear, it's very simple and clear. So now let's move on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let us discover the first stage to begin your adventure with DAOVERSAL, which is to be a node of planet. So currently, we have 3 planets available to the market, which are stone planets, bronze planets, and iron planets. So iron planets held the top rank among all, and then coming along by bronze and stone planets. All right. And the price for the planets, it goes for 500 USDT for stone planets. And then for bronze planet, it is a worth for 2,000 USDT and 3,200 USDT for our iron planets. All right. And so now let's move on for the first rewards that a node of planets gets, which is the land tax. So for stone planets, the formula of your land tax rewards is very simple. It's just accumulated stake amount multiply 0.6% and multiply another 10%. And you are getting these land tax rewards for your stone planets daily. All right. So for node, okay, to node for bronze and iron planets, your land tax formula is more straightforward, which is the stake amount multiply 4%. And you are receiving this reward one time off. Okay. So all your land tax reward will be rewarded with our DU token. And as a node of planets, you can name the planet you own in your favorite. Like for example, Ego in the Guardian of the Galaxy. It's definitely up to you. Okay. So here's a very simple demonstrations to explain to you what do you get if you own a planet. All right. So if you own a stone planet, as we previous slide we mentioned about, your land tax formula is equal to accumulated stake amount multiplied 0.6% times 10%. So what if you have 500 land owners in your stone planets? And each of them stake for 100 DU. So the land tax you are getting is 100 DU multiply 0.6%, multiply another 10%. And this one is for one landowner. So if you will get 0.06 DU, well, there are 500 of the landowners you have. So 0.06 DU multiply 500 landowners, which you are getting a total of 30 DU. And this is the reward that you are getting it daily. All right. So this one, if it's just what you're getting if you own a stone planet. So by the same time, you also own a bronze planet. So for bronze planets, same scenario, you have 500 landowners. Okay. So each of them, for example, they stake for 250 DU. And the formula is very straightforward. 500 of them, okay, there are 500 of your landowners. So each of them stake for 250 DU. So 250 DU multiply 4%, which is 10 DU. And 10 DU multiply 500 of the landowners, you are getting a one-off rewards of 5,000 DU. So added up together, what you are receiving if you own a stone and a bronze planet is you are getting 30 DU every day from your stone planets and a one-off 5,000 DU from your bronze planets. So it's pretty simple to understand, right, for this slide. All right, so coming up next. So here is a second rewards that you are getting, which is the planet referral rewards. So aside of land tax, okay, here is some important notes for you to follow, okay, if you want to receive the rewards, the referral rewards. So any new user who you introduce to DAOVERSAL, they will need to fill in your referral invitation codes, and you will receive the planet referral rewards upon every first land tax received from bronze and iron planet that you own. And there's no referral rewards from stone planets. All right, here's a very simple example for the calculations. So the formula is the first land tax multiply 10%. So assuming the first land tax of user A received was 10 DU, and you, as his or her referrer, you are getting 1 DU as for your referral rewards. It is simple to understand? All right. So before we proceed to our next slide, there are some very important notes for you to know. First of all, to receive your planet's referral rewards, you must own any planet, including of stone planet. And then second thing is, but only new subscription to bronze and iron planets will generate the referral rewards. Okay, and of course, it's very optional for user to fill in the invitation code. But if he or she doesn't enter the code, there's no referral rewards to be given to you. All right, and your referral rewards will be distributed in DU, okay, to your pending rewards account in the systems. And the last, of course, self-referral is restricted. All right, so let's move on. All right, now, just now we mentioned about the planets. Now, let's move on to the land. So same as in planets, we do have stone planets, bronze land, okay, and iron land as well. And there are 1,000 pieces of land in each planet. So on previous two slides, we mentioned about stake amount, and you must wonder how much to stake for the land. So here's some guideline for your reference, all right? So for stone land, the range is between 10 DU to 100 DU, okay? And then for bronze land, it is between 101 DU to 300 DU. And for iron land, the range is between 301 DU to 500 DU. And of course, you can stake amount between the range as your preference. All right. And what if you can start with a small amount and increase it later? All right. The answer will be revealed on the later part of the presentations. So don't you worry about it. Okay. So, all right. And then some people may ask, what if you want to redeem? Okay, you want to pull back your capital of what you have invested. So for only stone planet, you can redeem what you have invested anytime. But of course, it came along with some redemption fee, okay, of 3%. And then for bronze and iron land, unfortunately, you cannot redeem anything for what you have staked. All right. So by the way, why to redeem when you have so much to get? Just saying. But still, it's all up on your decision. Again, we remind everyone to invest smart and brave. So let's go back to the slide. For the rewards, if you own a stone land, your rewards is unlimited in terms of time, which means you are getting all the rewards unlimitedly and there's no end of it. Pretty amazing, right? And if you own a bronze and iron land, your rewards is going up to 3 times. So what happens after you earn 3 times rewards? Your land will be inactive. And what you have to do, you have to reacquire a new land to proceed earning of your upcoming rewards. So what are you rewarded with? For stone land, you are receiving the rewards in DU okay, in a fixed rate of 0.6%. And for bronze and iron land, you will be receiving RC as for your rewards. And I'm telling you, only for bronze and iron land, you will enjoy a very unique rate. So want to know about what it is so unique for? We will find out on the coming up slide. So before we proceed to our next slide, here is some important notes for you. First of all, you can only own only one stone land under an account, not 2 or 3, but only 1. All right. And then the second thing goes to your land will be inactive under 2 circumstances. Okay, for stone land, after you redeem your stake on it, or else the land will be active like forever and ever. Okay, and then for bronze and iron land, once you earn your rewards for 3 times, okay, for what you have staked for. Okay, so what you need to do is just reacquire a new land once the land is inactive. So I hope everyone is clear for this part, but still the same, if you have any question, just drop your message at the chat box. All right. So coming up next, so this is the unique release rate that we would like to describe about. All right. So for bronze and iron land, all right, this is the unique release rate that you are getting for. So for day 1 until day 10, the release rate that you are getting is 1.5%. Okay, if you stake for day 11 until day 30, you are getting 1.2%. Okay, and day 31 to day 60, you are getting 0.8%. And up until day 61 and onwards, the percentage will go to 0.4% all the way up until you get your rewards of 3 times for what you have staked. All right, so here's some notes for you. You must not forget to claim your rewards manually within 120 hours. Otherwise, rewards after 120 hours will not be accumulated until you claim the previous one. So all claim rewards shall credited to your reward account. Okay. So coming up next. So here is a very simple demonstrations for you to have a clearer pictures. So if you own a stone land and stake for 100 DU, so what you are receiving is 0.6 DU every day, and there's no limit of it. Okay, unless you redeem your staking of 100 DU. And by the same time, if you own a bronze land and stake for 300 DU, all right, so for day 1 until day 10, okay, you are getting 45 DU. And day 11 to day 30, you are getting 72 DU. And day 31 to day 60, another 72 DU. And from day 61 until day 70, you are getting 12 DU. Okay, so on day 70, your staking of 300 DU brings you a reward of 201 RC, which is 67% of what you have staked for. And it haven't include of any other market rewards. So pretty amazing, right? What a good investment. All right, so let's move on. All right, so just now we mentioned about land reassessment. Okay, so here are some guidelines for you. All land assessments begin with a minimum of 10% of your existing stake amount. Okay, and also the reassessment amount added up to your existing stake amount must within the land staking range. So the example given, a user staked 150 DU in bronze land in the beginning. If he would like to reassess, or we call it increase his staking, the amount is between 15 DU to 150 DU maximum. So the question is, can he reassess a 151 DU? The answer is no, because it will be exceed of the bronze land staking limit of 300 DU. So am I clear? All right. And the new stake will only align with the lane current staking periods. All right, which means the same user had his staking up until day 62, which the rate is now 0.4%. And for any new reassessment on the day, we'll be having the same rate of 0.4%. All right, so let's keep it rolling. So now we are talking about land subscription requirement. Okay, so for audience, dear audience, ladies and gentlemen, to ensure your rewards with DAOVERSAL is generating actively, of course, you have to build up your community. We shall start from Bronze Age. So for Bronze Age, you need to have an active user in your tier 1, one active user in your tier 1, and a total of 2 active users within your tier 2 and 3. In the other way, you will need to build a community at least of 3 explorers. All right, and then for Iron Age, you need to have 2 active users in tier 1 and coming along with total of 3 active users in your tier 2 and 3. All right, and the highest rank among all, the AI. So to reach the highest ranking of AI Age, you will need to have 30 active users for tier 1 and total of 150 active users in tier 2 and 3. All right, so let's move on. So now, beside of building up your community, there's also land requirement in order for you to upgrade yourself a higher ranking. All right, so to be an expert, not only you must have 1 active user in tier 1, another 2 users in your tier 2 and 3, and you also have to own a bronze land. And to achieve the highest rank among all, the Mythic, you must have 30 active users in tier 1, 150 users in tier 2 and 3, and by the same time, you must own also an AI lane. So here is a very surprising note for you all, is that if you are qualified with the number of users in your community, you can just skip the ranking by purchasing the required land will do. For example, you have achieved of 20 active user in tier 1 and 80 active user in tier 2 and 3. So now what you can do, you can just upgrade your ranking to legendary rank by just purchase an information land. Pretty cool, right? Thank you, DAOVERSAL, for creating such an amazing marketing program. Although it is only now up to Iron Land DAOVERSAL have released, but soon I believe the higher ranking land will be releasing as well. So just be patient. The what best always come after. So the next one. So the following slide is a demonstration graph to show you the step for your up-ranking, okay, for up-ranking yourself in DAOVERSAL. All right, so the slide now, just an explanation of what I have been showing just now. So we are going to the next. Yeah, so this is a demonstration graph to show you how to up-rank yourself in DAOVERSAL by achieving the active users in your community and also to own a land to reach the land requirement. So now you must be very curious what is the benefits for achieving higher ranking. All right, so let me show you now. So as an expert, your market reward entitled to reach for 3 tiers. So if your community reach until tier 4 and more, unfortunately, you don't get any market rewards from there. You can only get up until your tier 3. And things just get totally different when you reach to Mythic, the highest ranking. Your market rewards is entitled to go up until 15 tiers. So as quote from here, greater progress comes with greater rewards. So now I'm going to review your market rewards if you able to expand your community. So let's go now. All right, so for the market rewards, the calculation is your downline's daily rewards time multiply generations reward ratios. So which on the table shows you 20% goes for tier 1, 15% goes for tier 2, 10% goes for tier 3, and 2% from tier 7 onwards. So don't you ignore on these small portions of 2%. So when you have a great community in a massive amount, what you are getting rewards is also a massive amount for sure. All right. So coming up, the next is just a very simple demonstrations. All right. So if you are an expert, okay, your tier 1 is receiving 10 RC for his daily rewards. All right. So what you're getting from him is 20%. So 10 RC multiplied 20% gets you a 2 RC from your tier 1. And for tier 2, the same. He is receiving 10 RC. So for tier 2, you are getting 15%. All right. So 10 RC multiplied 15% gets you 1.5 RC. Okay. And then from tier 3, also the same. He's receiving 10 RC. All right. 10 RC multiply 10%. Okay, which gets you 1 RC. So in total, from your 3 tiers, okay, from your community, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, you are receiving the market rewards of 4.5 RC every day. All right, so let's move on. All right, so now is a roadmap. Okay, is a roadmap for what DAOVERSAL have been coming through. So on July 2023, DAOVERSAL launched its first versions, okay, which features of platform sign-in, okay, which include of HV and SAI, okay, and also Planet subscriptions. Following up on August 2023, DAOVERSAL version 2, okay, it implemented with Planet subscription phase 2, land subscription, and also the market rewards. Okay, so don't you think it is an end? DAOVERSAL will never stop to bring you greater experience for discovering the universe. So we are currently working on our version 3, which will features with GPU, cloud computing power, and more features will be announced sooner or later. All right, so we hope we ride the journey along together and witness all good things happening in the futures. So before we end our today's sessions, don't you forget to subscribe and follow DAOVERSAL social media. So we have Telegram, Twitter, which is now X-Space, Medium, YouTube, and also Discord. All the great news will be released, shared, and published on the first hand. So before I end up for today's sessions, I would like to quote, okay, our Barack Obama. What he said: change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. So we are the one we have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. So ladies and gentlemen, till we meet again, may your journey in DAOVERSAL fulfill with achievement and aspiration. Thank you for your joining.